Yo guys, DarkMata from Bedlam Brothers here, and welcome to the Kilowog episode of School of Legends. Now, Kilowog is more or less the same as a kilo, so just go ahead and watch that video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay legendary. I'm just joking, but he is very similar, so let's take a look at the differences. Kilowog can be purchased for 85 marks of legend from the Legends vendor. His movement mode is Fly, which is a basic movement mode, but the only thing to mention is that you can click in and out of supersonic flight. Kilowog's health is 6,224. This is roughly 10% lower than the base level of HP. As with all characters, blocking counters your opponent's lunge attacks. Throughout the series you'll see each character's lunges, so take note and learn when to block. Kilowog's combat style is brawling. His lunge moves you closer to the target and counters any range attacks. As always, you should take a moment to look at Kilowog's combat list and get familiar with it to become more effective at hand-to-hand combat. As Kilowog uses brawling style, there's two combos I'd like to highlight. The first is called Back Fist. This is a 3-hit combo which can execute a lunge on the second and third hit, which deals fairly decent damage. The next combo is called Haymaker. This is a 5-hit combo which can interrupt on the 4th and 5th hit for massive damage. These combos can be clipped at any point, cutting the animation short, allowing you to get started on your next attack. It's important to note that these combos can be blocked. Since game update 36, tapping range attack with brawling will not block break a blocking opponent and is vulnerable to being lunged after the 3rd tap. To block break with brawling, you have to use the held range attack. This attack is susceptible to being lunged. It is important to vary between melee and range attacks in order to trick your opponent and make sure you win the counter for your immunities. Moving on to Kilowog's power moves starting from left to right. Kilowog's first move is called Construct Jackhammer. This behaves like the earth power move of the same name. Kilowog punches the ground, causing a knockback and damage to any enemy nearby in a 360-degree radius. You can repeatedly tap melee after this move to continually pound the floor, doing the same effect over and over. However, every time you do this, you will consume a bit more power and eventually run dry. Whilst the first hit is not vulnerable to anything, once you start tapping melee, it becomes vulnerable to being blocked. This is a straight lift of a Kilow's first skill. His second move is called Ram. Kilowog fires a projectile, causing damage and knockback to a single target. His next move is Ground Spikes. Kilowog summons spikes from the floor to pierce a single target. This will cause basic damage and a knockdown and is effective at range. The fourth move in Kilowog's loadout is Construct Hands. Kilowog constructs giant hands to clap in and cause damage to a single target that causes a stun and basic damage. This is akin to a Kilo spike clap, only with hands instead of spikes. His fifth move is called Battle Roar. This move has been lifted from Bane and behaves in the exact same way. Kilowog shouts at his target, causing a knockback and damage over time to all enemies in the direction he is facing. It is vulnerable to being lunged. Unlike our Kilowog's Battle Roar lasts for the correct amount of time. And lastly, his final move is called Swoop Attack. This move is the same as a Kilow's, but pretty much every Lantern and Kryptonian character has this move. Kilowog flies forward, causing a knockdown and damage to any hostiles in the direction he is facing. It's important to note that no moves are usable while controlled. Overall, Kilowog isn't a very impressive character. He's almost a carbon copy of a Kilo, who himself isn't even that good. But Kilowog gets lower health for some reason. He doesn't have any heavy hitting damage over time moves or anything that I can see justifying the health reduction here. So it does mean that playing with him can be a challenge. To get the best out of him, you'll need to master the brawling combat style and only throw in his power moves for extra damage here and there, as none of his powers are really strong enough to rely on in combat. It's a shame the design on him was so lazy, as it means he isn't the most attractive character to play as. If you enjoy a challenge though, and you want to push your brawling skills to the limit, then Kilowog might just be the challenge you're looking for. So why not give him a go, and leave a comment to let me know how you got on. As always, check the video descriptions while I keep you up to date with any changes that might happen to this character in future patches. Until next time, stay legendary.